I wanna be rich.
Karibuni guys to the Tumesota podcast. We're finally on episode 4 and it's like the 28th of January. Okay, I meant the 34th day of January, but anyway, we're so excited. I know you can see a new face. Stay tuned to find out who she is, what she does. And yeah, I'm Abigail, the Disobedient budgeter.
Pauline, the Indecisive saver.
And Amira, your favorite impulsive spender. And this is the Tumesota podcast because indeed, Tumesota lakini
Tuna omoka'd.
Yes! Wow, guys. It's end month. January is ending. Finally, the year can begin. And as you can see, we have our first guest of 2021.
First guest on the podcast.
But before I let her speak, I have to. What did you say? Paka mafuta. Yes. I have to introduce her. So this lady that you're seeing to our right, probably your left, I don't know, and who you're about to hear for the listeners, she calls herself a beautypreneur. She founded one of Kenya's leading. I personally know that's Kenya. Cosmetic makeup brands. If you know anything about makeup, it's very hard to find black-owned products, leave alone African-owned. So it's very iconic what she has been able to do. You can find her products in Saria, Junction, all the major stores. And the brand is called Suzie Beauty. If you're hip to the culture, I'm sure you've heard of it many times. I have my powder here. Let me just
Shameless plug.
bring it out. Yeah, and I styled up. You can see I'm in a suit if you're watching. You know, as the other girls left me behind in episode 3, I was in a t-shirt and jeans. But yeah, we had to look the part for this amazing lady that's coming. So I don't want to belabor too much of the point because we have so much to talk about, but she's an entrepreneur killing it, a woman like us. We admire her. We are in the sorted side, she's in the omoka'd side. That's why we are bringing omoka'd people here so she can transfer that energy. So without further ado, I would love to welcome Suzie Wokabi to the Tumesota podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here, a founder, entrepreneur, and so much more. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope I did your intro justice.
You did so much justice. I'm impressed with myself.
You'd love to meet you.
I would love to meet you.
We'd love to meet you.
Based on that intro, absolutely.
So without further ado,
So Suzie, in this Tumesota episode, Tumesota podcast, we have a segment called Tume Jam. So jam means angry, upset, mad.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we
I'm not that old.
she's assuming you don't understand.
we're assuming. So what we do is we let out the frustrations. You actually don't look angry, but just I'm so sure there's something that kind of pissed you off during the week. Last year, bring it.
Sure.
So you're the only one who's doing it this episode because you're the special one.
Oh.
So just tell us what has made you jam recently.
Okay, so a certain person that I've been working with, like, just messed everything up and just like made me have to do so much overthinking and overfixing and like that makes me jam. What else? January makes me jam every year. Yeah. How many do I have to say?
As many as
That's
you
many.
want.
No, that was fine. Actually, what it usually is even like, it's like a situation where you can even be like, the driver who catch me in the line.
Oh, so you know, it's so
very
funny.
like current.
I also got a question like this on WhatsApp, like, list what you hate or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and like it's in the past. I'm like, oh no, there's many current and going forward situation. I hate traffic. I hate mosquitoes. Like those make me jam.
I feel like Suzie is on the same jamming meter as me compared to the two of you.
Yeah.
Abby is always
Is that
I'm the calm one.
oh, you're okay. So I'm not so jammy.
No.
Your jammy is smiling.
When
I'm jamming.
I
That makes me jam.
I have 2 boys who are 8 and 10, and when I'm like getting them ready for also online schooling made me jam for too long. But now they're in physical school, getting them ready in the morning is evil. That makes me jam. And then they want to play and fight, and me get them ready also, and like I have to pack school lunch now because they can't eat in school. The Brayside story, you probably don't know about that because you graduated, right? COVID makes me jam.
Hey, the list could really.
We can keep talking.
Okay.
Okay, so there, etc.
Nice.
ETCCCCC.
She's jammed for all of us.
With
a smile.
Yeah, with a smile. We are very calm and collected even as we jam.
Exactly.
So as you know, this podcast is about us sharing our journey through our financial gains at this point and our financial journey basically. And you've made it already.
From your lips to God's ears.
Yes. We can say for us, we can say you've made it. Mm-hmm. So we look up to you, and we would just like to know, how was your journey? How was it for you before you got where you are at right now?
Well, it's a journey that still continues. It's not the end of any type of journey.
Yeah.
But after college, I ventured into something completely different from what I studied. I studied international relations, which I never quite did anything with. I went to work in fashion and beauty, and at this time I was in the US. So I ventured into like all different parts of the industries. So I worked in eyewear and accessories and apparel, in cosmetics. And that's where I discovered my complete love for beauty. Did I say Suzie Beauty? Yes. My complete love for beauty. And Freudian slip. So I knew that I did want to do something inside of the beauty industry for sure. Yeah. And that's when I came back home almost 10 years being away. I came to work as a media makeup artist. Because I'd studied media makeup, and that's the part of makeup artistry that I preferred, because there's different parts of it, right? There's people who do special effects, people who do so mine is media, and I love it because you don't have to go overboard. I also love doing like runway makeup, and TV makeup and that, but also just always keeping it really clean, and that's just been my forte, just keeping it very clean and neat. So then sort of about a year and something into it, being back in Nairobi, I started to see the gap in the retail cosmetics space, which was all the products that we could find to buy imported, barely worked on our skin types. I've fortunately worked with many brands before, and also just even new, all these big fancy brands. This product does not work for the African skin. It doesn't. And what is in it that makes that happen? So I did a lot of research and decided to create my own makeup. And it's for sure from the beginning I was very, very particular about building a brand. I could also have just called another an international brand and be like, can I be the distributor for your product? But no, I wanted to make my own and create my own brand. So
build that door.
Exactly. So Suzie Beauty was born.
Nice.
And it was 3 years in the making, and we've been retailing in the market since 2012.
So you've hustled.
Absolutely.
And even I even wanted to ask before we get even to the making it part, because this is the Tumesota podcast.
Yes.
We'd really love to know, like, can you take us back to a time when you were in our shoes, you were in the sorted phase, and all maybe you had was a shilling and a dream, not a dollar. And a dollar is a lot.
Absolutely.
A shilling and a dream, and you, because I'm sure this Suzie Beauty idea was born way before, in your mind, before it was actualized.
Why are you so clever? That is so true. But I don't even know that. My friends tell me, you know, that when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm finally doing this thing. Like, I've come up with this great idea. They're like, you told us in 2004 that you're going to one day have your own beauty brand. I'm like, what? No, I just came up with it. And they're like, no, you didn't. It's always been there. So in the back of my mind, for sure.
So can you take us to a time when maybe you had the idea, but you know, like being broke for a lot of people can be discouraging or sad or hopeless. You feel like, my dream is here, my pocket is here, the gap is so big. Is there a time that you remember like your pocket was really just flat out not attractive?
Yeah.
And you had these dreams, but it's like, will I ever get there? Like,
so because I have like too much audacity, that never brought me down. Like, I'm like, there's nothing in the bank, but I'm going to get this done somehow. Like, I know for sure. And tomorrow is a new day. Like, it's okay. Today didn't work out. Okay, there's still tomorrow. in the beginning of the Suzie Beauty journey, so my husband, we co-founded the company together. And he was working at the time, and so he was able to finance the project. What I was doing a lot of like research and development, but at some point we did have to travel to go looking for manufacturers because I couldn't manufacture locally. So he was able to sustain that. I was still working in the industry, so at least, you know, we had food on the table and food, shelter, clothing.
Basically.
Exactly. And then I knew very quickly, and I knew in the beginning that there would be a point where I needed a bulk of money to put the brand into the market. So year 3 of the process was spent fundraising. And those are the many days where I'm like, should I eat or wear clothes? Like food, shelter, clothes, like everything was up in arms and up in the air. And fundraising is a very, very terribly evil process that I would not wish on my worst enemy until today. And I've gone through many funding processes through the years, and it's as evil each time.
but necessary sometimes.
No, it's not an option many times. Like by the time you're doing that, like it's because you need the bulk. Yes, and there are many days that I'm like, yeah, so is it? I mean, you know, we've eaten vegetables for many days.
Yeah. We need to change
the woman runs the household, so I'm like, should I buy a steak for dinner or should I just do dengu again? And dengu just made more sense, like whatever. And then fine, tomorrow is a new day.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best attitudes you can have.
Yeah.
It's just like, tomorrow is a new day. Being unashamed to do things like ask, it's embarrassing sometimes, but are you gonna stay stuck because you're just because of your ego?
No. And then I have no shame in that game. Like, and also I have a good support system. My parents are like 100% behind me. My siblings, I have very good friends. Like, if like worst comes to worst, I'm like, hi, what do you have in Pesa? Like, shoot it over. And then, you know, get it back to them, whatever, right? Shoot it over.
Shoot it over. So just a follow-up question.
Yeah.
So what can you say is your financial toxic trait and your financial superpower trait? Like, for example...
I understand.
Oh, you understand? That's okay.
Yeah. Financial toxic trait, for sure, is just, I'm so not a saver. And that's really not a good thing. Like, I'm not patting myself on the back when I'm saying this.
Yeah.
And I'm not encouraging anyone below the age of 44 to ever say this. But no, I just like, I'm like, you know, there's many times there's been like a bulk of a stash of cash that comes in, like for whatever reason. I'm so ready to splurge, to get that vacation that I didn't give myself, like that, like, you know, we're going to eat out for the next 3 months, like just overspent, like for no good reason, and then it's all gone, and then I'm like, oh wait,
What did I do?
what did I do there? Okay, so let me look for the next bulk. So that's not, yeah, that's what I do, and that's not a good thing. I've had savings accounts that mostly sit empty and terrible. And then my superpower. Oh gosh, that is a tough one. Maybe when I talked about that these bulks that come in randomly here and there, like, and that I go and splurge on, getting those made, getting those done. So they happen. Some people might never be able to say that, but yeah, I've gotten a bunch of bulks. Yeah.
I think I can also say your superpower, just from what you've talked about, is just do it attitude. Even if
Exactly.
Yeah, because that just
Tomorrow is a new day.
Tomorrow is a new day. Just do it. I think
Bora
that's
uhai.
Yeah, bora
All
uhai.
the things. Yeah.
That's I think that's
You have to like, you know, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You don't know what's happening just now.
Yeah.
Look at last year.
No one knew.
That's true.
No one saw it coming.
Who
Who
would
saw it
have?
coming? Yeah.
Right?
True. Yeah.
So
And so I think you've already, there's a question I had, but
I've answered
already
it.
answered it. I was going to ask you, you know, with your prowess and just everything you've accomplished, like what inspired you to create Suzie Beauty, but you've kind of talked about it, so I'll change my question.
okay.
And I am curious to know, when you started in 2012, like you said, representation, I'm really big on, as a black girl, especially, even in Kenya, we have like colorism and things like that, and even growing up, you felt it. Okay, me personally, I don't know if you guys did, but me, I felt it like growing up amongst black girls and stuff, and or even like when you would travel, you go to a store and you'd find like there's no representation really.
Right.
And
that's not just, you're not just talking about beauty, like
so
it's
many
everything.
areas.
It's clothing,
film, so many things.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I look at today, I feel like in the cosmetic industry, it has really evolved.
It has.
Shout out to some of my faves like Rihanna. And
Yes.
I was just curious to know, like, what do you think of now the current beauty situation? Even as it's growing, do you have any other goals? Like, okay, you managed to do Suzie Beauty, it got done, but what inspires you today in the present, like with the brand? Because obviously it's not done.
That is such a good question. So one, I love the evolution of the industry. We are represented so much better. I always get asked about, you know, look at what's happening in the industry. Like all these brands are coming in. Like, aren't you scared of competition? I'm like, the more the merrier. Because if I can't do everything for everyone. So if, you know, this brand is doing something different from what I'm doing or adding to the basic point is to grow the African beauty industry. And so all these brands are adding to it, so be it. The better. And then you asked about
what inspires you today?
In 2018, what I found the need to do, and very timely so, was to separate Suzie Beauty from Suzie Wokabi. Like I would go everywhere I would go, they're like, hi Suzie Beauty. I'm like, my last name is not Beauty, it's Wokabi. like so starting to separate the two entities, and so under Suzie Wokabi comes the brands. So it's Suzie Beauty and then whatever else I'm going to come up with. For example, I do have a podcast as well.
Yes.
We know.
We know.
So the Suzie Wokabi podcast is part of, under Suzie
Under the
Wokabi.
umbrella of Suzie Wokabi.
Exactly. I've even had to trademark my name, trademark a logo for Suzie Wokabi, so all the things. So just a whole new inspirational level of things that are going on, and I'm going to thank COVID for this, because 2020 let me think in a different way and think in a different space. So while Suzie Beauty is still my firstborn child and she'll still always be under my armpit, there's so much stuff to do, there's so many things to do. So spreading my wings in different ways. So you will be seeing a lot happening this year. First of all, I know I want to create more brands, be it in cosmetics, be it in different industries I've worked in, and I know what I know how to do well. So yeah, a lot coming up, and I'm very much.
Plus size.
I love everything about you. So yes, you're hired.
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
So what would you say are the pros and cons of being an entrepreneur in Kenya?
In Kenya,
Mm.
well,
Female.
Female entrepreneur in Kenya.
so I do get asked that quite a bit, because there's always the male-female situation, but fortunately I'm in an industry where I am always more learned than anyone in the room. I can go, I've had boards in my company and they're all men, and they can't talk beauty like I can. I school them all the time, right? So where beauty is concerned, I don't have the gender situation, which is a great thing. But I know a lot of, I have a lot of friends in very many different industries who suffer that. So yeah. So I understand the need for the question. And then being an entrepreneur in Kenya is, one, it's the right time. It's the right decade. It's the right... Africa is... I say Africa is not the next frontier, it is the frontier. Everyone's looking to Africa. Everyone's this is where it's at. And there's so many opportunities, there's so many things to do. Everyone who I find that moves back home from Europe or from the US, coming back home with the skills that they've had there, they come back in the first month, they're like, what? We must do this, we must do this. All these ideas, because there's so much that's gone on out there that we haven't had all these decades, and so much space to do so much. So this is it's a good time. Challenges, of course, it's it's infrastructure. It's government and just all the things that just curtail the movement, and it's frustrating, but it's not impossible. So there's a complete silver lining on that. Even just when I'll tell you, when I was trademarking my company, the Suzie Beauty, that's one of the things I did very early. It was register the company and do all the legalities, trademark the brand, all that. I was being told, to trademark you pay a lawyer 80,000 shillings and then they'll do that for you. Nope, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. So what other options, whatever, just a little bit of research helped me know that I just need to drive to Kipi, which was in South B that time, South C. Drive there, and inside of 8,000, 10,000 shillings, my trademark was done.
For free.
For the total of 10,000 shillings. Yeah. So I don't need to pay a lawyer that. So people now get stuck there, and they're like, so I just I just give up now.
You feel like your dreams are suddenly crushed.
No, you just need to talk more, ask more,
dig deeper.
Dig deeper.
It's crazy how much people get duped just for lack of knowledge.
Exactly, or just agreeing to the non-truths.
Did you tarmac a lot, for just trademarking and all the legalities? Do you feel like you tarmacked a lot?
Well, I did, but then not too much. It's not something that bothers me, because what I did, I should have done,
Yeah.
because now nobody can school me on that. So even just going to like KEBS for my market research, for my ingredients research, I had to do it. I had to go through all these chemistry like thingies, books, and to know what ingredients are not legal in Kenya and what I can use, what I can't use, because when I'm importing product, KEBS has to approve everything.
Yeah.
So I had to do that on my own. And I'm not sending a person to do that. So so having that knowledge is powerful.
Alright, so we know at the last episode we were talking about budgeting, and we all don't like doing it, but it's a necessary evil. So, what do you love and what do you hate about budgeting, and what as in how would you say you would describe your budgeting life as an entrepreneur? Do you really do it? Do you follow through it? Do you find it necessary as...
You've called it right. You said it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Because it's not an option.
Yeah.
So even at home, I'm the homemaker. Like, I have to know what we're eating, how we're eating it, and when we're eating it. And I could order. If I'm asked, if I was single, living, in New Jersey by myself, like I used to be, I could eat out every day. Now that is not even almost an option. I have 3 other big mouths to feed. They eat like termites. So what are we eating? I let them, and also it must be enjoyable. So I'm very much about that. I cook maybe 5 or 6 times a week for that reason. They have one fast food night a week. So they choose either Burger King or pizza or KFC once a week. So yeah, like that. Inside of work, inside of even Suzie Beauty, of course, like budgeting is a huge deal, because we have to, like, now we're going according to movement of product sales and like that. So what is moving faster? When do we need to order it before the other thing? And that. So it's a complete, in your face, on the table, necessary evil. It's not something that we can avoid in any realm of life.
Yeah, there's no shortcut.
No,
Yeah.
that one, no.
Yeah. So and how? Because I think we talked a bit before, and you said you also don't like it. So how do you manage with your disdain for it? How do you still manage to do it? Because I think now, okay, we've established we don't like it.
Yes.
So what do you do if you don't like it? How do you still make sure it gets done?
Yeah. So I guess having been punched in the face so many times when I fail doing it is like lesson after lesson after lesson learned. Like, come on, stop it. Like, you have, okay, there's a bulk that's come in. Please try. Please, like, it's a physical effort. Yeah, exactly. I talk to all the gods that I can find. Like, help me, help myself. So
It's not even an exaggeration. It's that hard.
it's really that uphill battle. Yeah. Fortunately, I have a husband and a partner who is like, he is very big picture looking. Like, he would, like, we have, a chunk of change has come in. He'll want to like go like buy land, or like, I'm like, let's just go out to eat a lot. And let's plan for Zanzibar in December, and then we need to go to Europe. Like, I'm the worst. So he reels it in.
He keeps you.
So that is very helpful. Yeah.
And we were also just talking about how budgeting with somebody else is also really important.
Yeah.
Clearly, we can see that it works not just for us, it's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think God just creates a balance for people. Like,
Sure.
you can see, even as the way we've named ourselves.
It's the balance. We all don't budget. Yeah.
No, but we keep it, like, Abi is our accountability partner.
Okay,
She's always the one who's like,
She's
with the budget.
She's a neat freak.
Wow. You just hit the nail with the biggest hammer. Yes, she's a neat freak, so she just keeps us in check.
Nice.
Now on the other hand,
Necessary.
To organize to the T, like, I mean, like, she's allergic to hoarding, like,
Nice.
And you need that. You need that.
You definitely need
And then you need a
that.
friend who will come and mess up this place and then you.
Exactly. So you come in and then she fixes.
Definitely.
I love it.
So as we finish this episode, we usually finish with either a challenge or a tip, and we'd want your experience on this. So we just want you to tell us and our audience also what is either a challenge or a tip.
Ours was last week.
Ours was last week was getting a budgeting friend or 2 people to keep you accountable for the year while budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anything in line to that or whatever actually.
Okay. I would say, okay, that was a good tip that you had the last time.
Accountability.
Yeah, that's completely perfect. Should I talk about a challenge? Yeah.
It can be whatever.
So let's say, I'm going to maybe refer to something I get asked too much, which is like, how do you know what to do in life, or like, what would you tell a budding entrepreneur, like somebody who wants to get into
like your career path.
business? Is 100%. If whatever you're choosing to do or get into, if you can't eat, live and breathe it all day, every day, and have all the passion in the world for it, let it go. Do not bother. Like, don't try and start a podcast or a cosmetics line because it looks like Suzie made it doing cosmetics. So let me just, it looks like, so let me just, like, you know nothing about it, you don't care about it that much, but it just looks like.
I like that you pointed me.
I don't know why. I'm sorry.
Because I wouldn't.
And maybe you would. So don't do anything that you are not completely passionate about. And passion is like such a word that rolls off my tongue very often, all day, every day. So passion for whatever it is that you choose to do. If you're going to be a broadcaster, if you're going to be, like, go into media, go into manufacturing, go into like farming, whatever it is, just know that you have to completely adore it.
So you have to roll with what your gut can chew.
And that's what is going to help
Good
you.
one.
Yeah.
Because where beauty is concerned, where Suzie Beauty is concerned, my gut feeling and my gut everything has helped me pave the way for her, Suzie Beauty.
And I guess also stay the course when it's...
And stay the course when things are... When I want to wake up from the bed and go under, it's not only not get out of bed, I want to go under the bed. The passion and the love for beauty and Suzie Beauty is what keeps me going and gets me going.
So I have a bonus question and I just have you know me. Just based on something you said, because I'm just thinking of people who are young like us, and like you said, this is the year of the entrepreneur. There's no better time to be an entrepreneur, but then
in Africa especially,
you know, like what you were saying, how you had this Suzie Beauty dream, but you were still working in other jobs as you were building it. So how do you stay like with your passion ignited for the things you want to do? Because there are people who don't have like supportive parents maybe, and you need money, and maybe like I want to be a car engineer designer for Tesla or something, for example.
Right.
But right now I'm living in Umoja, and I need to get to school, get my transport, so practically speaking that may be my goal, but then along the way I might have to do some things that I'm not feeling, So how do you still do those things and keep your passion going? So
once there's passion in the thing, it's not going anywhere. You can't kill it. You can't bury it.
Yeah.
It's not going. It's not going to go.
Yeah.
Even if, I don't know, hopefully not, but then when you're 50 is when you fulfill that dream. But it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah.
So stay the course, I guess.
Yes. Do what you need. Do what needs to be done for food, shelter, clothing. and keep that fire burning. However, it can slow burn for the longest time. If you love it so much, it's going to come into fruition.
Wow, it's been so fun.
Yeah,
it was fun for me
as
also.
As our first guest, I feel like you just came. It was just like talking to a friend. Like honestly, you were like the fourth member.
Aww.
You didn't have to really like, you see how some interviews and like some people are like, it's like you're really having to break
You want
down
to
the
choose a
speech,
certain
right?
way.
Oh no,
you want to-
I've been interviewed for 13 years straight by many different people,
Yeah.
and there are times that the energy is just wrong,
Yeah.
and I feel it, and you feel it in the
Yeah.
interview. Which is just, fortunately it's like one or two maybe that I'm just like, it's not the right energy, but you have to get through the interview.
Yeah.
Most of them, it's just fun, good vibes,
Yeah.
happy vibes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for
We
having
really
me.
appreciate it. I think for me, also just working in entertainment in Kenya, it feels like even just worldwide, people only support you when you have the numbers or when you're big. So to have you as our first guest when we're still growing and
Aww.
we're still in our infant stage means a lot. And I just met you at a play date, like
I
it was
know.
so random.
No, but I'm so happy to, like, your generation, you guys like inspire me also. So there's no reason why I would ever say no to this. Yeah.
Thank you to Auntie Anita and Absentia who made this
Mama Google
happen.
hi.
Shout out to you. And we just wanted to let you also plug your podcast. You can't leave without telling the people where we can find you.
Yay! And so also, can I just
And you can also have us
say-
over to yours. We would love to do that.
Absolutely, I would love to have you. I would expect to have had a podcast like ever. I was going to continue making more beauty products for the rest of my life. But this came about again, pandemic.
This pandemic.
So I fell into this space, and for whatever reason, it's been so fluent and like so easy to do. I guess I've talked so much for so many years that now getting stuff out of the person that I want to get stuff out of has been too easy. Like within me saying, okay, I'll do this, within a week I'd planned until the end of season 3, like the guests I want. Everybody I've asked has said yes. Like, so it's crazy. And so I love it. It's called the Suzie Wokabi podcast. It's both video and audio. So it's on, go on YouTube.
We'll
Just
put
type
her
in-
links also in our description.
There you go. See,
We will
you
repost
see,
her,
you
we will
millennials
tag
know how
her.
to do this linking thing. All the tech stuff.
Even on Instagram.
She's interviewing if you've checked out already, she's interviewed some of your faves.
Yes, and I'm just concluding season 1. Season 2 will start next month, and we go from there.
Congrats.
Thank you.
It's amazing to be co-podcasting, being in this new podcasting era together. It's very exciting.
Absolutely. Thank
It's
you.
very,
And I'm,
very exciting.
I'll still learn from you guys also. So it's all good. All good stuff.
And before we go, obviously we have to also shameless plug ourselves. Don't forget to follow us at the Tumesota podcast on Google Podcasts. Now we're also on Apple and Spotify
Yes,
and
sir.
everywhere you find podcasts. So please, do for us that favor, because we don't want to be sorted forever. Kindly, as Pauline would say, please hit that follow at the Tumesota podcast on every platform. It's not difficult, no underscores, no full stops, just the Tumesota podcast. We're gonna keep growing. We've made it through January, so let the real year begin.
Amen.
Amen. It's right.
Amen. So
And-
we have something small to give you.
Really?
I hope you enjoy.
Oh, you're so cute. Aww. Thank you.
We couldn't let you go without a little gift.
Ooh.
We'd love if you can unbox it for
Can
our
I?
listeners.
Yes.
Yes, and describe the item.
Why do you know that I'm a chocolate fiend?
We do.
Most
We
girls
need
are.
everyone getting amen.
We got a
Beautiful.
chocolate bar, a mask.
Look, and it's branded.
You can read.
So
you can
this
read.
is what I'm gonna wear today.
You can
read
read
it.
You can read the description for the
For the
listeners.
listeners.
The Tumesota podcast for protection against what? Broke bacteria, COVID, and other germs.
So
I love
we're
it.
not going broke this year.
I love it. I love it so much. Awesome. And a beautiful card. Oh, look. Hey.
Now you're broke.
You can also read for the viewers.
Tumesota podcast, broke repellent. The best.
Spray twice.
Spray twice.
Spray twice to protect yourself against poverty.
I'm gonna do it right now.
So you know you have your setting spray and stuff. So after your setting spray, you just spray the air
Spray
with.
the broke away.
Yes.
I love
yes,
it.
yes.
No, a bookmark?
A sticker for your
sticker.
fridge or for your
Cute.
car.
This goes in my home.
Another
Another one.
Yes.
Beautiful. Oh, sweet.
Thank
you guys are really
you
sweet.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Aw,
It's been a pleasure.
thank you. It has
Hopefully
been a
it's
pleasure
the
for
first
me
of
as
many.
well. Yeah, sure. And you guys are coming online, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
And we just have to test you. Tumesota lakini.
Bruh.
Tunaomoka. Let me tunaomoka.
Lakini tunaomoka.
Yay!
See you guys next month. You know, next month is all about love and Valentine's.
Right.
So, more of where that
We
came
got
from.
you.
See you in February. Bye.